Alright, next video on the FBI files. Sorry I don't have all my equipment with me right now. It's kind of packed up or in the process of relocating. Long story, but we're gonna get back into doing the FBI files. I haven't been able to make a second video yet, so I want to get that going and get more of these. And I can get more of these videos made so that we can get more information out for those who either don't know how to find it or don't know how to read through it or whatnot. You know, just make it a little easier, I guess. I don't know. I just wanted to help everyone see what some of the truth is in these files. I started with my first video was on Aaron Hernandez. He really wasn't a whole lot with that one. It was just a small case. I can't remember what that one was about. I'd have to go look through it again. But I have a video up about that one. That was the first video I did, starting the FBI files. Next on the list is Abner. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing things right. I'm not that best at pronunciation, and I have more of a lisp now. But Abner J. Mikva, Mikva, and Abner Abner. So Abner J. Mikva. He is next on the list. He, she, I'm not sure, sorry. I'm gonna guess the he though. But I'm gonna go into here. Zoom in on it. Okay. There's usually a lot of pages. This one has 500 pages to it. 542. Alright, this one is doesn't really give a the first page on it gives some information. Back in 99. Well, the first page starts with, it gives a date of August, looks like 30th. They scribbled out the date and put a different date. And then of 94, it looks like. It started in 94, so I don't have my mic with me right now. But I'm gonna try my best for you guys to hear me. I have a low voice, so we might have to turn your volume up. But this starts with, gives a to, a from, and then a subject. So it's to FBI attention, Special Inquiry Unit, room 4371. And then from Lloyd N. Cutler, Special Counsel to the President, subject FBI investigations. Candidate's name, Abner Mikva, I think that's, and then gives his SS number. I'm not going to read that one out. Gives the birth date, date of birth, which, that doesn't make sense. Date of birth 1/21/26. I mean, that's next month. That doesn't make sense. Oh, probably 1926, not 2026. Dirt, I'm blonde. I really am. Anyways, I think it gives place birth, Milwaukee, Michigan, gives present address, which I won't give out, just that it's in Jersey. Sorry, that's the street name. It's in DC. And then there's a request, and then a list of things, and it's checked for full field investigation level 1 and 2, but circled, 1 is circled. It's got X's in both, but 1's circled. And then other, which is not checked, but it still has something called and written, and that says change to level 1. Oh, there was a mistake, so they had to correct that, and it gives the date and then initial, how it's properly done. And then the candidate needs above named above is being considered for White House staff position. I'm gonna guess this is like a background check on the person. Attachments, and it's just SF86 and SF86 supplement checked. Not sure what that means. Remark special instructions. Give some numbers. Please open investigation. Fingerprint cards will be sent shortly. No, yeah, shortly. It's in cursive. Hold on, it's not that I can't read cursive. It's just the handwriting's a little hard to read. Also, there we go. Also, please expedite. Not everyone has readable handwriting, okay? Especially back then. Everyone did more cursive. And then it goes on to the next page, White House, Washington. The White House, Washington. Memorandum for prospective appointees from Office of Counsel to the President. This memorandum confirms in writing your express consent for the Federal Bureau of Investigations to investigate your background or conduct appropriate file reviews in connection with the consideration of your application for employment. Okay, so yeah, it is background check. Okay, so this I'm gonna guess that's mostly what this is. It's just what everything that went in with the background check. I'm gonna count because there's 500 pages, so I'm gonna see if there's anything interesting in here. It gives us fingerprints, which I won't show those, but it gives all his fingerprints, a picture of National Defense Program application. It gives his application. Okay, so yeah, he was born in 1925, not 20. Well, that's interesting. The other one said 2026, or 1926. Well, this said 26, but I'm guessing 19. But this one here says 25, not 26, for a date of birth. That's interesting. I wonder if anyone noticed the birth year difference. I'm not sure why a year would matter, but I mean, isn't that lying on a federal application? It says he was 20 years old when he applied. Applied in 1945, right, a month before his birthday. Right before he turned 21. Complexion dark, built medium, scars and marks, SC left cheek. Huh. Who worked at the White House with the scar on his left cheek? Well, Abner Mikva. But yeah, again, it gives application recorded October 1st, 1946, stamped onto the bottom of that. Special Inquiry Unit. Another piece of paper. Oh, it's just about doing an expedite background investigation. It gives the results, like close relatives and stuff, but they have that blacked out, or blanked out. I can't say black because it's actually white, but it's blanked out. Yeah, I just think it's just all his. Yeah, all his background check information. Oh, he failed to disclose prior arrest data from 94. Oh, so he had an arrest and he didn't say anything about it and they found it. Not much. I can't read that. Universal case number, yes. More of his Background check. I can't read that. I'm sure some of like the older generations from me. I'm a '90s kid. You might be able to read this better than I can. It's been a while since I read this cursive of cursive. I'm not sure how to call that. But it's just about his background basically. I can't read that. Something about someone passing in 55. Yes. Really not that interesting. And it's mostly just this background stuff. I'm not seeing anything really that interesting other than there was that birthday. Okay, another Okay, apparently he's been investigated a few times. Another thing about doing a background investigation on Abner, I think. Reveals newspaper articles which indicate that in 1986, while an appointee was serving as a judge on the USCADC, I'm not sure what that is. Bear with me. He also served as chairman of the American Bar Association's Committee of Individual Rights and Responsibilities and took part in efforts to recruit dues-paying members to that committee. The Washington Legal Foundation charged that this was a violation of judicial ethics, prohibiting judges from soliciting funds. Appointee agreed to restrict his activities as chairman of the committee, and there was no formal investigation into this matter. Mr. Mikva was a defendant in a 1979 lawsuit brought by a U.S. senator challenging appointee's appointment as a USCADC judge. The suit was dismissed. The ruling was appealed and upheld by a federal appeals court and by the U.S. Supreme Court. Mr. Mikva indicated an investigation confirmed that complaints may have been filed against him as a USCADC judge. He was a judge. Interesting. Okay, now it's starting to get interesting. However, all judges, not an individual judge, furthermore, all such complaints have been dismissed. Interesting. Dismissed. I want to say I'm pretty far down there on these complaints or these investigations. They've done a few investigations on this guy. During a 1979 FBI DAPLI investigation of appointee, 3 persons would not recommend him due to his beliefs. Liberal. It's even on here in parenthesis. Liberal. On certain issues. That's interesting. A spokesperson for the Washington, D.C. Bureau of the NAACP said there was questions in the African American community about appointees' judgment and temperament, and something would not comment either way regarding a recommendation. Something's blanked out. Someone took white out. Several persons have interviewed during the DAPLI investigation questions whether appointee or any person had the ability to be appointed directly to a U.S. appeals court without first serving on a federal district court, but they did not question his character, reputation, overall ability, etc. Investigation is complete. The following footnote corresponds to information located in the agency checks section of the summary. The summary memorandum contains the results of a level 1 background investigation, I guess not background check, and an investigation concerning Mr. Mikva. I do not know if I'm saying it right still, but which addressed his entire adult life. Inquiries were conducted in the standing, but no inquiries were made as to sources of his income. And birth, Mr. Mikva was born on in Milwaukee. Education gives where he went to school at for his universities: University of Wisconsin, Washington University. Oh no, there's more. So he went to the University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, receiving no degree. School records were only able to verify Mr. McBaugh's attendance in 1943 and 44. Washington University, St. Louis, Missouri, received no degree. University of Chicago School of Law, Chicago, Illinois, receiving a JD degree. Military service. Records of Mr. McBaugh's military service could not be located and may have been destroyed in the fire at the National Personal Records Center, St. Louis, Missouri, in July 1973. A check of the records of the Veterans Administration, VA, disclosed that Mr. McBaugh enlisted in the United States Army Air Corps Reserve on May 5th, 1943. He served on active duty in the USAAC from January 25th, 1944, November 10th to 1945, when he demobilization, due to demobilization. No additional reserve service was indicated in his VA claim folder. Based on information available, his military records claim no unfavorable information. Employment. While pursuing an education, Mr. McBaugh was employed as a life insurance agent in St. Louis, Missouri. Employments as a salesman, waiter, steward, taxicab driver, a researcher in Milwaukee or Madison, Wisconsin, Los Angeles, California, or Chicago, Illinois would not be verified. It gives more dates of University of Chicago, Chicago, Illinois, international as a legal researcher and subsequently as a guest lecturer. Only the later 4 periods of employment as a visiting lecturer could be verified. So I'm gonna guess that this guy lied on his application to become a Supreme Court judge and was doing some corrupt stuff for them to be doing this several investigations on him. He's married to the former and then blanks it out. He was indicated that his wife is a United States citizen. They reside in Washington, D.C. Gives his parents, oh, that's my grandpa's name. His sister. They're all deceased. And then he's got 3 daughters, but they have the names blanked out. They interviewed 28 persons consisting of current and former colleagues and co-workers, present neighbors, references, and professional associates were interviewed. They provided favorable comments concerning Mr. Mikva's character, associates, reputation, and loyalty. All persons interviewed during the course of this background investigation stated they are unaware of any illegal drug use or alcohol use by Mr. Mikva, nor have they ever known him to exhibit any of these bias or prejudice against any class of citizen or any type of religion, racial or ethnic group. They also commented that they believe Mr. Mikva lives within his financial means. All persons interviewed recommended him for a position of trust and responsibility. Among those interviewed are the following. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 judges, the clerk of the court, senior judge, professor, a search of computerized credit records, which was conducted at the FBI headquarters in 94, and enclosed no pertinent information concerning Mr. Mikva. Law enforcement agency checks. Information has been received from appropriate law enforcement agency indicating their files contain no records concerning Mr. Mikva. Professional allegations. Mr. Mikva is eligible to practice law in the state of Illinois and in the District of Columbia. According to information available, no grievances have been filed against him. So here's a miscellaneous note here. It says a search of Nexus, a computerized news retrieval service, enclosed the following information concerning Mr. Mikva. Several newspaper articles indicated that in 1986, Mr. Mikva was accused of misconduct for his part in certain activities connected with the American Bar Association. Mr. Mikva was serving as chairman of the ABA's Committee on Individual Rights and Responsibilities and had taken part in efforts to recruit dues-paying members to that committee. The Washington Legal Foundation, described in news articles as a conservation legal group, alleged that this was a violation of judicial ethics and should not be allowed under general prohibition against judges soliciting funds. No agreement was reached whereby Mr. Mikva was allowed to remain as chairman of CIRR until his term expired, but his role as chairman was restricted. There was a formal investigation by the USCADC, and now ruling was made on the allegations of judicial misconduct. A copy of the representation newspaper articles concerning this matter from the Washington Post dated July 17, 1986 is attached. Mr. Mikva indicated on a supplement to his application that he was a defendant in a lawsuit titled McClure and vs. Carter, which challenged his appointment to the USCADC. He further indicated that his suit was dismissed in 1980 for lack of jurisdiction. Mr. Mikva was interviewed regarding his matter and advised that this suit was filed in United States District Court for the District of Idaho and was dismissed by the judge. He said the plaintiff appealed to the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit and then to the United States Supreme Court, neither in which set aside the initial court's decision. Mr. Mikva's staff at the USCADC provided copies of the pertinent papers from the volume 513 of the Federal Supplement and volume 554 United States Reports. Reports regarding the aforementioned lawsuit against Mr. Mikva. These records indicate that the September 25th, 1979, James A. Clure, United States Senator from Idaho, filed a complaint in the United States District Court for the District of Idaho claiming that Mr. Mikva's nomination, confirmation, and appointment to the USCADC was a violation of Article 1, Section 6, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution, the ineligibility clause. The United States District Court ruled that the plaintiff did not have standing to bring the suit, and the matter was dismissed. This ruling was appealed and upheld by United States Circuit Court in May 5th, 1981. On November 9th, 1981, the United States Supreme Court affirmed the prior court's rulings. Mr. Mikva also indicated on a supplement to his application that he has had complaints filed against him in his capacity as a judge or as chief judge, all of which have been dismissed. No. It's fine. Thank you. There's machines going by and my dog's like, what's that? I just gotta tell her it's fine. Or it's okay. Hang on, I'm gonna try and fix this. I'm like at the bottom of the screen. Oh, don't fall. I don't have my tripod right now. Come on, stay. Stay! 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 You were doing just fine until I moved it. I'll be right back. Okay, I guess that's just gonna have to work. At least until I find where I put my tripod. Everything's still packed up. Sorry, I got an itch. Anyways, my back. Idaho filed a complaint in the United States District Court for the District of Idaho claiming that Mr. Oh, I read that part. I also indicated on someone. So it sounds like he was doing some shady stuff. Not being fair. I'm gonna guess it sounds like maybe possibly could have been being racist. I mean, it was back in this looks like late 70s, on to the 90s, and that was really bad time too. Still, for African Americans in the United States. I'm trying to say this carefully, that it is part of our history. I'm just trying to find out if he was ever reprimanded for any of it. Like I said, there's like 500, almost, halfway to 600 pages. So I'm gonna skip down and see if he ever got charged. Apparently he lied a whole bunch on a bunch of papers. No, another investigation. Yeah, they open. Oh, that looks like the same one. Oh, they might have added it twice on accident. Yeah. Oh no, that's the same one. Just a professor saying that he knows him. That he's not much interesting. They interviewed some references. Senior research scholar. Yeah, they're all saying, "Oh no, he's a great guy. He's a great guy." It sounds like. But I mean, if it's his friends, of course they're gonna. Well, darn, I'm really not seeing it. I mean, this is so long, and this is gonna make this video is gonna be end up being a lot longer than I want it to be if I read through all of this. A lot of it's just a bunch of investigations that were opened up on him several different times. There's several investigations that were opened up on this. I'm guessing from what I'm seeing, he was a judge in the Supreme Court. Fastest mile cover sheet. That doesn't give me much information on this. No, that's just another investigation. Oh, and there's been a couple things about drugs too. I mean, that apparently it does include marijuana, narcotics, drugs. I know there was different terms and stuff back in the older days. This one was in '94. So he was doing some shady things. Did they ever actually get him on any of it? There's so many pages. They investigate him hard. What? There's another file too. Let's see what the other file says. Because I don't want to make this video too long. And it's more investigation. Oh, this one was in '63. That's an older one. Hold on. This one's stamped secret, and then it's got an X through it. And it just says, inherent in the measure, it goes too far, man contented. Representative Abner J. Mikva, D. Chicago, from the same Hyde Park district, declared he was bothered about the supervision over private denominations and private schools insofar as the curriculum was concerned. And he added, I hate to see a martyr made here tonight on the grounds the Muslims are being persecuted. That's what it says. Representative Albert Hackmeister, Hackmeister, I don't know how you pronounce it, B. Chicago, said other private schools were alarmed over the possibility of the bill's passing. The Chicago Sun-Times is a daily newspaper published in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, it was about racial. It just says May 1963, Elijah Muhammad referred to racial tension in Birmingham, Alabama, and stated, "We will not go down there and participate in it. The leaders," I don't want to, the leaders, N-word, already know they have rejected us, and this is what they get. Let the serpent bite them, and when the serpent, and then it ends. Is that all of it? Yep. I didn't finish. And then it goes down to bunch of blank stuff. Been 92. News article, Judge Mikva to be named counsel to the President Clinton. It's a news article saying that he was selected. More about more investigations. He became counsel to the President of the United States in September of 1994. Something about a memo from Clinton. So it says, Mr. Mikva advised that he was not the author of the memo, although he did have final review and signed off on the memo. I'm not sure what memo this is. I sounds familiar, but Clinton was when I was a kid. So yeah, I'm not sure about what member of that memo, but it says that he did have final review and sign off on the memo. Associate counsel served as the blank on the White House counsel staff after President Clinton announced his re-election in 95. He said that it was time to update the memo. This memo, or a version of the memo, has been in existence for the prior presidential administration. Mikva advised that Congress had amended the Hatch Act. Therefore, the memorandum needed updated to reflect those changes. The Hatch Act had been liberalized. The changes allowed federal employees to have political involvement and possibly make contributions. Mikva stated that blank was the only person he met with regarding the memo, as she had prior responsibilities for it. I wonder who she is. They blank out lots of names and stuff in here. Why? Mikva stated that the memo did not cover the POTUS, P-O-T-U-S, or the Vice President of the United States, P-V-O-T-U-S. Oh, the President of the United States, P-O-T-U-S. Anyways, because they are constitutional officers. The memo was written to cover only White House staff. Mikva stated that after the memo was released, he does not recollect any after effects of the memo. Advised he remembers no conversations with anybody about this memo. Mikva stated that he would not interpret the memo as the memo speaks for itself. He advised that he would not be an expert witness for the interviewing agents. Mikva stated that he had no involvement with the fundraising process at the White House. Likewise, he had no knowledge if blank or any other associate White House counsel would have been present at any Democratic National Committee or White House meetings to discuss fundraising. He stated that Bruce Lindsay, the deputy counsel, may have attended such meetings. He should not be sure if Lindsay was in attendance, but as Lindsay was once a President Clinton's old friend, Lindsay may have been wearing a different hat other than deputy counsel at much meetings. I wonder if the other blanked out where that says she is this Lindsay person. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. I don't remember a whole lot with the Clinton thing because I was pretty young. I was under 10. I'm 36. This is 25. So, I was under 10 at the time. I'm a year older than the day. Year. Mikva advised that the only fundraising event that he attended was in 1995 at a hotel in Washington, D.C. He advised that he was not sure of the exact date or of the name of the hotel. Terry McAuliffe, McAuliffe, the DNC treasurer, and David Wilhelm, who was at the time the DNC chairman, were both at this event. Mikva advised that he was aware of donors, contributors being present at the event, although he does not remember any solicitations. So I'm gonna guess they must have been going around trying to sell stuff to people at this event. I'm gonna guess. I'm not sure. I'm kind of guessing here. Just going off of what it's saying. I don't know if you guys can understand any of it. Kind of getting a picture painted in my head anyways. And it goes on to say, Mikva advised that he has no knowledge of any meetings between DNC and the White House. One incident wherein he does remember meeting with someone with the DNC was during the 1992 federal election campaign, reporting problems. Mikva advised that he was unsure of the exact problem that was discussed. Mikva stated that he was not aware of any offer by the POTUS or VPOTUS to make fundraising telephone calls. Again, POTUS is President of the United States. VPOTUS would be the vice. Harold calls, however, Mikva. It looked like Mika for a second. Mikva was not aware of this issue going through the White House counsel office. He does not remember any discussion with anyone of his staff about fundraising for the 1996 re-election campaign. In addition, he was not aware of any fundraising events held at the White House. Mikva advised that he does not remember any discussions about the White House office database. Likewise, he has no information about the individuals or stayed overnight at the White House. Yeah, just saying, he doesn't know nothing about this fundraising thing. I'm not going to read the rest of it because it's all pretty much the same. My throat's getting dry. But just him stating that he doesn't know anything about it. He didn't hear nothing about it. He didn't talk to no one about it. Nothing. I don't know, basically, is what he's saying. Mikva did advise that he did meet with Michael Cordova, who oversaw the president's legal expense trust. Hang on, I'll be right back. Alright, excuse me. I just want to finish up this video on the FBI files on Abner J. Mikva, sorry. And this is part 2, the second file on him. This one only has 99 pages, and I was stopped at page 13. Sorry it took me a few days to get back to finishing this video. I'm going to try and get through this one a little bit quicker so I can start on Al Capone, because I've been waiting to do that for a while now, and I really, really want to get into that one. So I'm just going to kind of speed through this last little bit. A lot of the information, it looks like, is blacked out. Blanked out. White blanked, not black. Just, that's the color they used. Yeah, it's very hard to understand what any of this really says, too, because there's so much blanked out. And stuff about meeting up with certain people that they're not showing the names for. He was in this meeting that they were discussing the president, which at the time was Clinton, his schedule and whatnot, and the Abner was just there as a professional, something law. I skimmed through it too quick. Professor of law, sorry. Some about moving certain individuals need to divert themselves of certain stocks immediately. And he was a judge. Advised that he spoke with both officials in separate discussions about the failure to divest. This was, he had contacted, I went to go see Tony Lake and explained this was a matter of great concern to us, and he said he thought it had all been done. Mikva revealed that Lake had recalled signing the various documents to include the actual certificate of divestiture, and Lake apparently thought that he divestiture, I don't know how to pronounce that word, had occurred. Judge Mikva explained that he believed this was a situation that had simply fallen through the cracks. Yeah, there's so much blanked out that I'm not quite sure what this all means. Something about stocks. There's a lot more about it, about these stocks. They needed to get money out of stocks or something. It's not as interesting anymore as it was at first. Worried about public integrity. Oh, he was counsel to the president. So yeah, he was counsel to the President Clinton. And this was back in 95, September of 95. And it's a letter about letters that were sent out. The FBI has conducted no investigation concerning Paul Kitch or Fred Strode book, and a review of our files filed to disclose any information concerning them. Bureau has conducted no investigations. So it looks like he was trying to get some other people investigated. Probably trying to get some... I'm going to guess he was trying to direct focus, is what it looks like. So it seems like this judge was a shady person to me. I don't know if he was. I didn't give enough information to say if he did anything. But he did something. They just couldn't find, from what I'm reading, what it was. There could be more information later on in some other files on other things that it's just not in here because it could be filed under something else. Like they've got multiple files on Trump, and they've got a couple files on Hillary Clinton. And so it's kind of just finding all the information through each other thing too, from how they've got things filed. And if I come across anything about Abner, I will upload a part 2 if I find anything else on him. Just like with anything else I find on here, if there's something that I find in another file on something I had already previously done a video on, I will add it as a part 2 so that it's because I can't really just add it to the video after I've already posted. I mean, I could take it down, re-upload it, and whatnot, but yeah, I'll just make another part 2 and then upload it as part 2. So if you see anything that says part 2, it's going to be different than the one that doesn't say part 2. And it's going to have more other information in it. So go check those out if you see any part 2s. Some of these are long, so I might end up having to do part 2s, just so that the videos don't end up too long themselves. But if there's anything anyone is interested in knowing more about while I'm doing this, please don't be afraid to comment and let me know. Like I said in my other video, some of these I am going to do more research on and do more extended videos on. Like there's a lot about Al Capone that we already know because it was in the public view. We could all see it. We were all given that information. I don't know if there's going to be anything in it that we weren't told already, because I don't know everything that was put out there for the public to be able to know. So, like if there's anything on, say, Al Capone, because he's my next video I'm doing, if there's anything you're curious about, please let me know. Don't, be afraid to comment on this video or my other video that's already up. Let me know if there's anything else you want to know. If you're curious about something that I read on the videos or the ones I've done so far, Abner and I did a video on Aaron Hernandez. If there's anything you're curious about, you think I might have missed, because there is some stuff I left out because it's just like people's names and dates and stuff and personal information that I don't feel I should put out there on the internet. But if like you're curious about something, you want me to go look into it some more, let me know. Or if you're curious if there's somebody on the list or something on the list and you're wanting to know if it is on the list, leave a comment. I will look it up. I'll probably just do the list in order so that I don't lose what I've done so far. And I'll leave notes for myself, so when I get to those ones and somebody's wanting to know more about something or wanting to look into something or whatever, if you got questions, I can try and answer them as best as I can. I just need to know what it is you guys are wanting to know, so I know what I'm looking up. Yeah, I think that's it for now. That one was a little interesting because it was a Supreme Court judge, and it seems like he might have been doing some shady things. There was no proof from what I read, but they were interested in him. And when the FBI is interested in you, they look you up. Yeah, anyways, that's it for now. And then my next video is going to be on Al Capone. So if you're just as interested in that one as I am, stay tuned, and I will try and get Al Capone done here soon. How big is he? Ooh, oh dang. Yeah, this one's going to take me a while. Whoa, there's a lot more than I knew. I actually haven't looked at this yet. Let me show you this. So, when I go into Al Capone, okay, come on, phone. See Al Capone? Okay, we got a big list. Each one of these is individual files. So like, we'll click on this one. It goes in, there's files. I'm doing this backwards. One, okay. There's a lot. So yeah, the video on Al Capone is going to be a lot longer. I might do this in sections in different videos, do multiple videos on Al Capone. So there'll probably be parts to this. Oh, there he is. There's the end. But yeah, that is the next video. This is going to take me a minute. I wonder how long this video is going to end up being. I haven't really edited a whole lot the other one, so I'm only probably going to have to edit a little bit on this one, just to kind of skip through my slowness and me talking to the dog and whatnot. Part 1. How many parts is there? Part 36. 36. And the last one isn't a part. It's just images, it says. And this could be interesting. I hope it's interesting. It's Al Capone, man. Alright. Till the next video. Have a lovely day.